Hey everyone, Jeff here. It's Saturday, so I finally have some time to sit down and talk about some records. And that's what today's video is going to be, just a vinyl update with this stack here, some things I've picked up recently, and yeah, so that's really all I have to talk about today. I've been watching some videos. Rob Paniques, you put up a great video the other day showing some metal stuff. Very cool to hear you talking about Between the Buried and Me. Love that band. So, yeah, I guess that's the only shout out I want to do right now. But, hello to everyone in the vinyl community, and I hope, you know, as you're gearing up for the holidays, that you have a good Christmas, Hanukkah, all that stuff. So, yeah, anyway, got some records to show. What we have in the background is the Electric Light Orchestra. This is the first ELO album, and it is really cool. Sounds like you know, if the Beatles had gone into the 70s, they might sound like this. Really cool stuff. Now, I do have a few new records here. Two of them are from a concert I went to. I saw the Italian progressive rock band Goblin in Sayersville, New Jersey the other day. Fantastic show. Very cool to see those guys live, just because a lot of those Italian bands from the 70s that I really like, I'm never going to get a chance to see, but I did get a chance to see Goblin, and I did not miss it. So they had some merch for sale, and the only record they had was this Tour EP 2013, and it's got some re-recorded versions of some older tracks, Profondo Rosso, Roller, Suspiria, and Tenebrae. So, very cool EP, and part of the reason, mostly why I bought this, was just, I was curious about the re-recorded versions. It's on red vinyl, and in addition to that, you know, this probably wouldn't get repressed, so if I don't get a copy now, I'll probably never be able to. So, so yeah, I decided to pick up a copy of that, and yeah, this is a pretty cool EP. If you already have the originals, you might not want to get this, but if you're a fan of Goblin, this is definitely pretty cool. Now, the opening band for Goblin was a group called Zombie. I believe these guys are out of Pittsburgh, and I've enjoyed their music for a while. I think I have at least one or two of their albums on CD, but seeing that live really made an impact on how I perceive their music. You know, I'd always liked it, but after seeing Zombie live, I really, really like it. So I picked up a copy of Surface to Air, which was the first album I heard by them, and this has always been my favorite, and I think it still is my favorite Zombie album. So I'll show the record here real quick, because it is on some really, really awesome gray vinyl. And this is actually the first gray record I have, believe it or not. So very cool to have some Zombie on vinyl. If I had to describe the music of Zombie, I've described it before as if Tangerine Dream and Rush got together to make a record. I think that's what Zombie sounds like, because it's very, very atmospheric, spacey synthesizer stuff, but with just a killer rhythm section, you know, really great drumming, and some pretty intricate bass work at times. So it's interesting stuff, and if you're into prog, electronic, rock in general, this is an interesting little album. The last new record I want to show is Unorthodox by Edge of Sanity. I showed my CD copy of this before, but a store near where I live had a copy in, and it was only, I think I paid $25 for it. So not bad at all. I love Edge of Sanity, and, you know, as far as Swedish death metal goes, it doesn't get much better than Dan Swano as far as I'm concerned. So, on really awesome yellow vinyl, and very, very pleased with this. The only thing is, with a lot of these Black Mark records, I do have Crimson 1 and 2 on vinyl as well. The records are a little bit noisy. Some surface noise playing it. It might just be that I have a crappy turntable, but it is a little bit of a noisy record. But still, you know, to have that cover and the yellow vinyl, all that stuff, really, really well done, and very happy to have that. Now, the other records I have to show are all used. And actually, all of these are flea market finds except for one. So I'll show the one that's not a flea market find first, and that is Birds by Trace. So I've been familiar with Trace before. This is a progressive rock band from the Netherlands. But, you know, so I was gonna buy it just because I had heard the name before. But then I looked here and I saw Ian Mosley of Marillion is the drummer, and I recognized him on the back. So I was like, I'm a big Marillion fan, definitely have to check this out, and this is interesting. Very, very good keyboard-led progressive rock, and if you're into, like, maybe something like ELP or Focus, you'll probably dig this. So, very awesome to find a copy of this, and, yeah, cool record. Right, now the rest I have here are flea market finds, so I'll go through these pretty quickly. First one I want to show is Utopia, another live. It looks like the phone's ringing, but I'll wait on that. Very, very cool record. Love Utopia, and this is a really good live performance. So very happy to add that to the Rundgren collection. Also found a copy of Picture This by Billy Cobham. Yeah, the production is kind of lame, some of the keyboard tones are cheesy, but the music is not bad. And, you know, no one ever talks about this record when they talk about Cobham, but if you're a fan of his drumming, you might like this. This isn't bad at all. Now, these next two here are probably records that people have heard. Perfect Strangers by Deep Purple. Not one of the best Deep Purple albums, but still pretty cool to add to the collection. And A Night at the Opera by Queen. Everyone's heard this record. This is usually considered the classic Queen album, but yeah, they put out a lot of great stuff. Yeah, so really, really great album. It goes without saying that. And I was very lucky to find a copy of this for only $1. So very awesome. And the last thing I want to show today is Voices and Images by the band Camouflage. I bought this from a guy at the flea market who, you know, I talked to him. We had a good conversation for a little while. And he was telling me that, you know, he had seen this band back in the 80s, and he really likes their music. He had compared it to Tears for Fears, The Cure, Depeche Mode. I really, really like Tears for Fears. I don't listen to a whole lot of synth pop, but Tears for Fears isn't really synth pop. Anyway, this is synth pop, and it's not entirely for me, but it's a good record. And if I'm in the mood for this type of music, I could see myself pulling this one out. So, Camouflage. And those are all the records I have to show today. You know, I want to keep it quick, and I hope everyone has a good weekend and a good holiday. And I'll try and catch up. I know there's so many videos that are being uploaded right now, and you know, we're all doing what we can to stay on top of everyone in the vinyl community. But yeah, really, really happy to be a part of this, and I'll see you all next video.